Hi, I'm Hannah Radzep. Think about your last steak or burger. You probably can't picture the ranch where it was raised or the family who raised it. You probably don't know how many animals were in your last burger. Now you can. I'm the product of a Nebraska cattle ranch and founder of HonestBeef Company, a platform that allows people to crowdsource their beef. Our customers effectively purchase part of a live animal, see the pastures it grazed and the family who raised it, and even know the pedigree of their steak. We eliminated 60% of the conventional beef supply chain and use small craft butchers, so our prices are 25% lower than the leading online retailer. In addition, ranchers are beating down our door because they get a premium on every animal we buy. Our financial model carries very little risk. Our customers pay up front, we have minimal inventory risk, and our margins are near 35% in this $3.8 billion market. We've had solid early traction via word of mouth and social media and have received incredible feedback on our single animal products. Know your rancher, trust your beef, and crowdsource a cow with HonestBeef Company.
Welcome to today's Power Pitch. I'm Melissa Lee. You just saw Hannah's pitch. Now let's meet the panel. Joining us here on set is startup advisor and angel investor Alicia Surratt. Alicia's got more than 40 companies in her personal portfolio, and she serves on the board of the New York Angels. Also with us is venture capitalist Nir Lieberboim. He founded Uprise Ventures. The focus there is on early-stage startups with several natural food investments in its portfolio. And from the Bay Area, David Wu. He's a general partner at Maveron, a VC firm focused on consumer companies with $1 billion under management. Its portfolio includes sandwich company Potbelly as well as Pinkberry. Okay, so we heard what Hannah has to say. She's in the hot seat. Alicia, kick it off.
So Hannah, I thought that you did really well on your pitch. I loved hearing the story and a bit about the market and really great information around competitive differentiation. So I will give you an A. Now, on the safety front, how do consumers know that the products they get from you meet or exceed the standards set for what they would buy at their local grocery store?
Well, the most important part about that is that the butcher that we use is federally inspected by the USDA, as are anything that would ship across state lines. So our product meets the safety requirements that any other beef product would meet.
Nir.
I thought your pitch was very well rounded. You talked about your background, why you started the business, the margin structure, so I also gave you an A. I'm curious about pricing. I noticed on your website that the average order price was around $100. Can you scale your business at these price points?
Right now, we think that we can, and we're excited that our prices are 25% lower than the leading online retailer. The other piece of that is that we're able to offer the rancher a more equitable piece of the pie in that sense because we have cut out all of the middle people.
David.
I'm going to have to go the other way. I love how passionate you are about the cattle industry and the authenticity of your background, but I really struggled with the pitch because it seemed like you were talking a lot about neat product features and differentiation, but it took a long time for me to figure out what's the real customer benefit and consumer benefit. So I'm going to give the pitch a C. Is this really about a price differentiation and a cheaper cost of premium quality beef, or is it more about the quality of the beef or the health benefits? I was kind of confused.
The price is just an added benefit for that. Really what we're focusing on is that this is a completely transparent product. I can give you a steak that's very high quality and put it on your plate and tell you the pedigree of where it came from. Our producers keep very meticulous records, so you know exactly where that animal came from, how it was raised, the husbandry behind it, and more important, the story of the family who raised it.
We actually got a chance to taste some of the beef earlier today. So, Alicia, I'm curious, what did you think? Were you thinking about the pedigree of the cow when you were eating that New York strip?
You know, I wasn't, but I have to say that the quality really stood out. It was absolutely delicious.
I actually felt better eating it knowing that it was traceable and sustainable. You have such a great brand name, HonestBeef. Do you have any thoughts about leveraging that brand name for traditional retail products?
Right now, what we're good at and what we know is beef. We wouldn't be opposed to focusing on other proteins in the future and maybe seeing if there's an opportunity for other kinds of agricultural producers to use a similar crowdsourcing model, be it vegetable or pork or whatever. But right now, beef is what we know and, frankly, what we're best at. So we're going to stay focused.
David.
Who is this end consumer, and why do they care about this radical transparency? When it comes to beef, why do you care exactly the pedigree and where exactly it came from?
American consumers are really becoming more privy to the source of their food and where their food is coming from. The consumer that cares about what we're doing is really somebody who wants transparency, wants to know what they're feeding their families and who it came from, and also has a little bit of care for the families, the 1% that's raising it, offering them a more equitable piece of the pie.
Okay, we heard what Hannah had to say. Now we want to know if the panel is in or out. Alicia, what do you say?
Well, listen, it's really early for this company, and one of my big concerns is whether it's too niche-y But because it's so early, what I really have to bet on here is the quality of the entrepreneur. And I think that she's fantastic. So that combined with the transparency, the crowdsourcing, the quality, and also the efficiency of the supply chain makes me pretty positive. So I'm going to go in.
Nir.
I think the company is on trend with traceable and sustainable products, and I think the crowdsourcing model is unique. However, the beef category in the industry is very large, very crowded, so it's tough, but I think HonestBeef is doing something unique, so I am in.
2 wins. David, what do you say?
I'm a huge carnivore, and I'm a fan of the omnivore's dilemma, and I think that the idea is a neat idea, but it feels more like a mission than a money venture scale business to me, so I'm going to be out.
All right, so 2 ins and 1 out. Hannah, what's your reaction?
David, I'll ship you some beef and we'll see if we can't change your mind.
All right, our thanks to you, Hannah Roundup of Honest Beef and Company, and to our panelists, Alicia, Nir, and David. And that is today's Power Pitch.